Welcome back to Super Sorry, the podcast that bravely tackles mistakes, oversights, and apparently some very exclusive fan mail.
Yeah, and then today's episode is short because we'll be honest, we received exactly one message, but it's a good one.
So here's the deal. The writer is unnamed, utterly unnamed, like deeply anonymous. And given the length of this letter, maybe, Todd, you and I should take turns reading.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. And this feels like a kind of letter that might need some shared custody to it.
Okay, sounds good. You start us off and let's see what beautiful chaos awaits.
Okay, so the letter begins with, "Hello, my darlings. It is I, a completely unnamed, totally mysterious thespian of British persuasion from Liverpool, with a certain theatrical gravitas you might remember from somewhere. I recently listened to your Iron Man 3 analysis, and upon hearing the episode, I felt observed, deeply existentially observed."
Wow, that's actually sort of nice. All right, I'll continue. "The moment your episode suggested that Trevor owes the public an apology, I felt something shift inside. Not quite guilt, more like indigestion mixed with enlightenment. I reflected on the millions traumatized by the broadcast Trevor helped create. I wondered whether artistic expression, while noble, should perhaps not involve televised terror."
Perhaps, yeah, that's true. And it continues, when the episode transitioned into apologies that could have been, I became contemplative after hearing the suggestion that Trevor should apologize to the world, to Tony, to Rhodey, and perhaps even to society at large. Furthermore, I reflected on your proposal that if Trevor were a child, he'd need to sit in a corner and think about what he'd done.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe he picked up on that. But okay, yeah, sitting in a corner, I suppose can be like transformative.
Yeah.
All right. We've got some bullet points coming up here. Okay. They say, "After absorbing your analysis, I embarked upon a few self-improvement ventures myself. Daily meditation, during which I attempt not to adopt any accents, personas, or threatening monologues." Okay. Reading Eastern philosophy, which I have come to find soothing, even if I understand only 12% of it. Yoga classes, only one so far, as I was gently asked to leave my first. Composing a proper apology. Oh, I like this. Composing a proper apology and making sure to include the word sorry, delivered aloud, for now just to a houseplant, as a symbolic stand-in for the global population. And finally, the last bullet, I guess, is mentorship. Probably just a fellow thespian to start with, but anyone can benefit from learning from someone who has been in their shoes, as long as the man or woman is full of wonder.
And it concludes with, "Thank you for the enlightenment, my dear podcast sages. Your analysis has healed me, humbled me, and slightly terrified me. And if you ever need an actor of an unparalleled range and questionable judgment, I am available. Yours anonymously, a British thespian from Liverpool." End of message.
All right. Well, that may be the most beautifully dramatic apology, adjacent reflection we've ever received.
Yeah, and I guess only one so far.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I think I need a moment to process what we just read.
Yeah, same. I think, we were kind of visited by the ghost of bad apologies past, but with, more theatrical, even more British, if that's possible.
Yeah, totally. It's weird. I didn't expect our Iron Man 3 episode to inspire what seems to be a full existential crisis in this unnamed British actor.
Yeah, because he took it extremely seriously. He's meditating. He's apologizing to houseplants. He's reading Eastern philosophy at a 12% comprehension rate.
I mean, it's a lot of emotional growth for sure. And I appreciate the candor and sharing it.
Yeah, I appreciate the apology, even if it's, it was only, directed at a houseplant.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. I do like the idea of practicing.
Yeah.
And maybe that houseplant, deserved an apology.
And maybe this is how it starts. Practicing on a houseplant. It's a good way to, at least, get your feet wet.
Yeah, for sure. You have to start somewhere, right? As long as there's no caveats to this apology.
Yeah, as long as it's a true apology, not a sort of, non-apology, as we say, when you include phrases like, "Sorry you feel that way."
Yeah, that's not a real apology.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, here we are. Super Sorry, the podcast that heals unnamed British thespians from Liverpool one at a time.
Yeah, put that on a t-shirt, We create fans with feelings.
Well, I guess that concludes our one piece of fan mail. Theatrical, reflective, and I guess doing the emotional work of an entire ensemble cast.
And if any other anonymous actors want to reflect on their questionable life choices, our inbox is open.
Or if you're not an actor, that's okay too.
Until next time, we are super sorry.
And thank you to the one listener who carried this episode on their shoulders. Super Sorry is written and hosted by Amber and Todd. Produced by A Super Sorry LLC. Music by Jam Studio. Your support helps us keep asking the hard questions and saying the hard apologies. Thanks for tuning in and sharing with friends. Super Sorry is not affiliated with Marvel Entertainment, Marvel Studios, the Walt Disney Company, or Disney+. As of this recording, all Marvel characters mentioned in the podcast are the property of the Walt Disney Company.